Let's have a look at the nutritional label of a popular brand of plain oatmeal, and let's look closely at the carbohydrate section. At the very top and in bold letters, we see the section title and it says total carbohydrates, where it is disclosed that there are 27 grams of total carbohydrates. Then we see beneath total carbohydrates the words dietary fiber. However, make note of the fact that the words dietary fiber have been indented a ways from the left margin. This tells us that dietary fiber is a subset of total carbohydrates. When we look below dietary fiber in the same indentation, we see sugars, and we are told that this product contains just 1 gram of sugar. So the package is clearly declaring 4 grams of fiber and 1 gram of sugar. Meanwhile, if we add the two disclosed subsets of total carbohydrate, 4 plus 1, we get 5, which is an intolerable margin of error from the actual 27. This means that there are 22 grams of something in this product that has not been properly disclosed as it should. What they're failing to disclose to Richard and the rest of the human herbivore population is that the undisclosed material, the thing missing from within that carbohydrate section, happens to be starch, which is outrageous when you consider that starch is sugar and is literally 81% of the product. You see, humans have an enzyme in our saliva and in our stomach called amylase that makes short work of the bonds that bind these glucose molecules together to make starch. This is why starchy foods will begin to taste sweet if you hold them in your mouth long enough. Knowing what we know now, oatmeal has been exposed to be only pretending to be 4 grams of fiber and 1 gram of sugar. To get an honest assessment of the product, we must add that 1 disclosed gram of sugar to the 22 undisclosed grams of sugar, and we get the actual sugar, and that number is 23 net grams of sugar. Let us take a moment to address this practice of non-disclosure we see here. It seems to me that a misrepresentation of 22 grams of sugar content in one serving of anything, especially when it's being recommended to diabetics and the obese as being low in sugar, is intolerable and certainly should be investigated as a breach of the Fair Packaging and Labeling Act. It's also important to note that every brand of bean, lentil, and grain in the U.S. is using this sleight of hand trick. Anyone who keeps a close eye on their blood glucose level will tell you that a 22-gram misrepresentation of sugar like this will ruin one's ability to successfully manage sugar intake and will often lead to the individual suffering from chronically high glucose and insulin levels day after day after day with no clear understanding as to why. There's a plethora of diseases that have been strongly associated with the chronically high insulin levels we find with a high grain, lentil, and bean diet.